You've been taking your magnesium glycinate every single night. You swallow the pills, get into bed, and wait for the anxiety to fade and the sleep to hit. But hours later, you're still staring at the ceiling, dealing with the exact same racing thoughts and twitching eyelids you started with. You're doing the routine correctly, but there is a massive disconnect between swallowing a supplement and that compound actually reaching your cells. Take a look at this chart mapping the absorption rate of standard magnesium glycinate. You start with 100% of the dose in your stomach, but the actual gut absorption sits at roughly 12 to 18%. That means over 80% of what you take ends up flushed down the toilet. And if you are taking it to fix cognitive symptoms like anxiety or insomnia, the drop-off is even worse. The chart bottoms out entirely at 0% brain delivery. Magnesium glycinate simply does not cross the blood-brain barrier effectively. We are trying to fix delicate, highly specific neurological and cellular bottlenecks using a physiological sledgehammer. It is the wrong tool for the job. So let's step away from the internet hype and look at the clinical data. There are 5 targeted compounds available right now that actually possess the bioavailability to penetrate these biological barriers. Getting real results requires matching the exact biochemical tool to the specific biological bottleneck you are trying to clear. Let's start with the most common bottleneck, a hyperactive nervous system causing racing thoughts and poor sleep quality. If your goal is to shut your brain off at night, the compound you need is Apigenin. Apigenin is a flavonoid that targets the exact same receptors in your brain as prescription anti-anxiety medications, but it activates them gently and partially, giving you a sharp reduction in anxiety scores without the heavy sedation or cognitive impairment the next morning. This matrix outlines the strict dosing rules for these nervous system tools. For Apigenin, the clinical requirement is exactly 50 milligrams, and because it is fat-soluble, it absolutely must be paired with dietary fat for absorption. Taking it on an empty stomach wastes up to 60% of the dose. And if you try to take more than 50 milligrams, you actually trigger receptor desensitization, completely neutralizing the benefits. Now, if you need to manage stress during the middle of the workday, Apigenin is too calming. Instead, you need L-Theanine. L-Theanine clears the blood-brain barrier in about 30 minutes. Once inside, it actively modulates your neurotransmitters to generate alpha brainwaves, the exact electrical state associated with relaxed alertness and creative focus. Adding L-Theanine to the matrix, the standard dosage is 200 to 400 milligrams. Taken with your morning coffee, it suppresses cortisol spikes and completely eliminates caffeine jitters. But there is a trade-off. L-Theanine keeps you sharp and alert. If you are dealing with severe insomnia, it lacks the heavy physical off switch required to knock you out. For total nervous system regulation, you have to divide the workload. L-Theanine is your daytime volume dial, and Apigenin is your nighttime off switch. Moving past the brain, the next major bottleneck is systemic: physical tension, oxidative stress, and the accelerated cellular aging that comes with it. Most people see taurine on an energy drink can and assume it's a stimulant. That is completely false. It's a naturally occurring amino acid that acts as a vital structural protector, specifically regulating calcium signaling inside your heart muscle cells to maintain rhythmic, efficient contractions. Updating our matrix to the cellular tab, the clinical data points to a daily dose of 1,000 to 3,000 milligrams of taurine. Consistently hitting that target drastically reduces markers of oxidative stress and measurably improves exercise capacity in cardiovascular tissue. Taurine won't pull you out of a panic attack, but as a premier physiological repair tool, it is incredibly effective. Plus, it pairs flawlessly with any magnesium you might already be taking. The final and most complex biological bottleneck is cognitive decline, persistent brain fog, memory issues, and a lack of mental clarity. To address this, we need compounds capable of structural brain repair. First is lion's mane mushroom. This mushroom contains unique compounds that stimulate nerve growth factor. This directly triggers neurogenesis, the process where your neurons physically extend new branches to form denser connections with surrounding brain cells. As we see on the Cognitive Repair tab, sourcing dictates success. You must buy Fruiting Body Extract. If the label says mycelium on grain, you are paying for inactive starch, completely missing the active neuro repair compounds. And if you want the ultimate cognitive upgrade, you have to fix your magnesium delivery problem. That means switching to magnesium L-Threonate. Developed by researchers at MIT, this specific molecule acts as a dedicated carrier, actively escorting the magnesium directly through the blood-brain barrier. Once across that barrier, the magnesium goes to work directly inside the brain tissue. This leads to massive increases in synaptic density and extended phases of slow-wave, restorative deep sleep. You will notice the elemental magnesium number on the bottle looks very low compared to standard supplements. Ignore that. The true metric of success is the massive volume of magnesium actually delivered to your brain tissue. Because it is a patented compound, L-Theanate commands a premium price. That cost is simply the toll you have to pay to physically reach the brain. If genuine cognitive enhancement is your priority, cheap, generalized magnesium won't cut it. You have to invest in tools engineered exclusively for the brain. Building an effective supplement protocol means abandoning the idea of a single magic pill. It requires precision and targeted resource allocation. Let's use this scenario match flowchart to map your specific bottleneck to the exact compound you need. First, look at Path A. If your primary struggle is physical tension or cardiovascular protection, your money is best spent on taurine. On Path B, if your bottleneck is racing thoughts and poor sleep, you need nervous system regulators. Use Apigenin to shut down at night or L-Theanine to manage stress during the day. Finally, Path C. For brain fog, memory gaps, and cognitive decline, you require structural repair. You need the premium stack of magnesium L-Threonate and pure lion's mane fruiting body extract. If you are on a strict budget, L-Theanine provides the highest immediate return on investment for daily stress. There are no complicated fat pairing rules, and it won't drain your wallet. As for your old bottle of magnesium glycinate, you don't have to throw it out. It still holds value for physical issues like leg cramps, but as a cognitive repair tool, it is obsolete. Stop flushing your money down the toilet on generalized internet hype. Identify your specific biological bottleneck and upgrade your stack with the right tool to finally break through it.